day like any other. You're at the gas station filling up your ride. You head into the store to pay.
$77, please,
says the cashier. You pull out $80 in cash and slap it on the counter.
Sorry, sir, no cash. We only take cards from now on.
With a grumble, you pull out your debit card and swipe it.
Thank you, sir. Just so you know, a note on your credit says you're almost up to your $80 limit in gas for the week. You're getting close to your government-allotted carbon emissions for the month.
Walking out of the store, you wonder what the heck he was talking about. You drive to your next errand. Along the way, you notice a long line in front of an ATM machine. You stop to check it out. People are walking away from the ATM in frustration. You stop and ask what's going on.
Oh, those machines. They stopped giving out cash.
You are told. Now you feel that little twinge of fear in your gut. You know the feeling? You knew things were getting bad, but surely things were not that bad. You check your phone. No wars, no terrorist attacks, no hurricanes or earthquakes. Still, something's up. It's getting weird out there fast. You head inside the grocery store to pick up dinner. As you head into the store, you notice long lines at the checkout counters. Anger is in the air, the smell of panic. A woman grabs your arm.
They say card only, but my card isn't working. Nobody is taking cash, and they're running out of food.
You turn around and head out. In the parking lot, you send a text to your friend. He's one of those political gun nut types, so maybe he's going to have some insight to share.
Things are getting scary. I went to the sporting goods store to buy some supplies and ammo. They're telling me that based on my Google search history and the websites I visited, I can't buy anything, even with cash. I checked my account and I have plenty of money, but they won't let me spend it. They're saying I'm flagged as a threat.
You text a few more of your friends. One says his business can no longer take payments from customers. He wonders if it's because he donated to that Freedom for America protest. Heart sinking, you remember all those donations you made recently. Another friend urgently texts you. None of her cards work either. Her online payments are not going through and her rent is due. You feel yourself starting to sweat. Tomorrow is the end of the month. You have a bunch of bills due. Another friend says he's hearing about violence in the streets, people smashing and grabbing whatever they can, banks locking their doors on customers. Your mind races. Some sort of system-wide banking crash, you suspect. You rush home. It's okay, you tell yourself. You're prepared. You've got a couple thousand in cash under the mattress. Plus, you've got your savings account and your 401k nest egg. You check your banking app on your phone. You are greeted with the following message.
Dear customer, please be advised certain purchases may be limited or not be permitted according to federal law. All our ATMs and branches are currently shut down until further notice. If you wish to speak with one of our representatives, please be aware we are experiencing higher than normal call volume and wait times will be longer than expected. Thank you and have a nice day.
You turn on the TV to get the news. Images flash on your screen of long lines at supermarkets and gas stations, stock market indices in the red, riot police, National Guardsmen in the streets. The news anchor is nodding his head solemnly.
Today, the White House directed banks and other financial institutions to stop doing business with thousands of Americans, freezing their personal bank accounts.
Palms sweating, you switch to the financial channel.
Chaos on Wall Street today after Congress authorized another round of stimulus payments directly into the spending accounts of every American. A move critics say will only increase inflationary pressures as prices spin out of control.
You flip again.
Violent protests continue to spread from the cities into the suburbs in the wake of record unemployment and reports of enforced rationing of electricity and natural gas.
In the distance you hear sirens, breaking glass. Are those gunshots? It's been a hell of a day. It's going to be a long night. Make no mistake.
Shalom.
C-Day will change your
All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, so as you see in this video, all right, that's describing what a cashless society or the beginning of this cashless society will be. You know, it's going to start with chaos. You know, Esau uses the order ab KO method. All right, they cause confusion, you know, in a situation. All right, they cause the problem and, you know, bring the solution as if they didn't cause the initial problem. All right, and what they're going to do, you know, as this video shows, is put the people in a state of hysteria, man. All right, go to that word hysteria. All right, it says emotional excitability and disturbances of the psychogenic sensory, vasomotor, and visceral functions. Behavior exhibiting overwhelming and unmanageable fear or emotional excess. All right, overwhelming or unmanageable fear or emotional excess is how they gonna push the M.O.T.B, or as they make it mandatory, man. All right, these people are gonna be in a state of hysteria. All right, this clip shows many ways that they're gonna get to the people. We don't accept cash, and you need food. We don't accept cash, and you gotta pay bills. This is how they're going to get a lot of people to take the M.O.T.B willingly, because they're going to be under so much pressure, or they're going to feel as if they're under a lot of pressure, man. Right? You have a term called pressure from above and pressure from below. All right, basically making these people feel as though the walls is closing in on them, and they have no other option but to bow down or accept the M.O.T.B, which we know is ultimately going to lead to these people's destruction, man. This implantable device, all right, that these people are going to receive in their right hands or in their foreheads, as mentioned in Revelation 13. All right, and it's easy, man, for Esau, because these people, especially 2/3 of the nation of Israel, are so dependent on him. All right, he controls all the food. He controls, all the land as far as your property, where you live, your job, your access to everything in this society. He really has it in the palm of his hand. It's in his control. So when he starts taking these things in an attempt to manipulate the people into thinking that the only solution is to take the implantable device, they gonna do it, man. All right. The most recent, what do you want to say, event was the, stoppage of the food stamps. I believe that was last month in November. Okay. You see the panic that these people was in. And although the Israelites, all right, Negroes and Latinos are the face of government assistance, that shit affected a lot of people, man. A lot of nations of people is on that government assistance, man. And those people would have been willing to do anything to receive it back. You had, as the clip mentioned, people was in the street causing chaos, rioting. You had threats of that just over the food stamps, man. So how much more when they say you can't work? All right. Even if you want government assistance or not, you won't be able to go into a grocery store and buy food. This is where the faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to have to kick in. And it's only going to kick in for the hopeful elect. All these other people is going to fold, man. Even those who know that they Israelites, who think that the damn M.O.T.B is an embargo, it's a mark of Jesus, or the symbol, whatever they say, whatever they changed it to this week. All right, these people gonna fold easy, man. All right, the implantable device will be implemented, all right, as this cashless society, starts to take shape. All right, the replacement for the cash will indeed be the implantable device, and you seen it may seem insignificant, okay, but Donald Trump is doing away with the penny. All right, then that's just gonna which is a form of payment. I mean, people don't really use it. All right, but how easily is that gonna turn to dimes, nickels, and quarters? We don't use those no more. The dollar bill, the $5 bill, 10, 20, 50, then 100, then cash is going to be obsolete completely obsolete, man. Because these people just do what they say. They don't question anything. Society is just rolling on. You have a term called where people say you need to get with the times. Where the times is going to be, the implementation, all right, of the M.O.T.B, which is the implantable device, man. And this is, one of the last prophecies we waiting on, and we close. All right. You see all of this, you ain't gonna see this in your fluff news, but this is being talked about all the time, man. Because, these people see it coming, man. You have economists, they see it coming, man. All right. They're trying to, you have this term called transhumanism, man. They're trying to merge you with the technology. And why are they trying to merge you with the technology? So they can be omnipresent and have complete control. They're going to know where you at, know where you been. They're going to be able to control your money. Ain't going to be no private transactions no more. As you got a couple dollars, you just buy something for somebody off the street. That's going to be gone. They're going to have a complete record of everything you do. And that's what he's trying to do. Exalt himself as if he's the most high, trying to make himself omnipresent, man. All right. But this Revelation 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right. Every level of society. Okay. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. That word mark being karabma, all right, karabma being an incision. So that's how you know the M.O.T.B is something that's going to be implanted within you. What the hell else would they cut you open for? They're going to cut you open, but the M.O.T.B is a picture of Jesus. It's an embargo. This is ridiculous, man. But that's, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, using these camps to lay a stumbling block before the people that he doesn't want to be privy to what the M.O.T.B is, so they can take it, and get burnt, man. Get blew up. All right. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. No man might buy or sell unless he had that implantable device within him. All right, so that's how you know it's an implantable device, and it's gonna be something that you buy or sell with. You don't buy or sell with an image of Caesar Borgia, man. All right, it's gonna be physical. It's gonna be something they put in you. All right, and slowly but surely, as we've seen the digital ID, all right, come about and be made mandatory on the eastern part of the world, at least in the UK, which I believe at this point you can't work if you don't have it by a certain time, maybe January, next month, you see it being made manifest, man. All right, and it's gonna be very easy for them to transition. All right, even if they came out, as I speak on a cashless society, if they came out and said, well, we're not accepting cash tomorrow, just use your card. Everybody's used to using their card anyway. Very rarely do you see people with cash now. You ask somebody, it was a time where you would be on the street, you got change for a 20, people, y'all can break bread like that, but very rarely do you see people have cash now. So it's going to be very easy for them to make cash obsolete by telling people just to use your card, as that card, your ID changes to a digital ID that you'll have on you, then they'll transition into the implantable device, man, which is the M.O.T.B. All right, but I ain't gonna hold you. I hope that video was edifying. Shalom.